Hi everyone, here's a video on step 1 of the reclaiming process. This is a screen that we've already used for another design, another project, but we're done with it and we can reuse this screen and remove the ink and the stencil, the emulsion, to start over fresh and use this screen for another design. Alright, so we call this start 1 because we're just finished it from the press and we're going to bring it over here. Step 1 is to remove all the ink, and we have this product called Citra-Paste. It's a citrus-based cleaner that basically breaks down the ink and removes it all. The reclaiming process first off starts off with something really important. There's going to be a designated brush for each part of this. So for step 1, we're only going to use brush number 1. Alright, so the water's already turned on underneath the sink. What I'm going to do is go ahead and get this brush just a little bit wet to start with, and kind of give a line of the Citra-Paste across the top. So let me open that up. And we're just going to kind of massage this in. So the important part about reclaiming screens is you don't need to push hard. Screens actually need to remain really nice and tight, the mesh on here. You don't want to stretch it out. So we are not going to push really hard. We are going to let the chemical do the work. And basically it is dissolving it and breaking it down as we speak. So that's why I kind of spread it out. And just let it sit and kind of dissolve it. And we're going to do this to both sides. Put one more line across the top and just massage it in. Again, like I said, I am not pushing hard. I'm going to let the chemical do the work. The parts to focus on are where the ink met the tape. We normally have blue tape that hides this part when we're actually screen printing, and where the ink hits the adhesive, it starts to clump up a little bit, and these are the most difficult parts, the edges where the tape was. You can see the adhesive is a little tricky, so I'm just going to do a little bit more, and then I'm going to kind of let it soak in and let it do its job. You don't want to use a lot of water on this process because it'll just wipe away your Citra-Paste, wash away. Sometimes the adhesive is a little sticky, so if you need to use just like your fingernail and kind of release it, that kind of sometimes helps with some of the adhesive from the tape. Now it is important to remove every bit of ink on here, so even small little spots like this that you can still see the black ink, we need to remove. This screen was not so bad, but some screens where we have to put tape on the back for the registration marks, the tape is on the back, the ink comes from the front and hits the adhesive, and these get really sticky sometimes, and you really have to focus on getting the registration marks clean. But this one, we didn't have tape on the bottom, so this one was easy. And one last thing we got to check on is make sure that we don't have any ink that's actually on the metal frame itself. So I'm going to give a little quick wipe to the inside of these, give a little bit of Citra-Paste, the inside of the frame, and then this front side also. Make sure there's no ink there also. Alright, I think we got it. I'm going to give the brush a quick rinse. Push this one off to the side. For step 1, it is okay to leave this brush in the washout booth. We'll talk about the other steps though, they are different. Now, make sure when you're rinsing, also, please do not spray directly at the screen and splash all the water out. I'm going to kind of try to wash it downward. Kind of like a medium fan spray, and maybe, probably about a 30-degree width, 30-degree fan. Flip it around. For this step, it is okay to use your hand to kind of wash off any of the remaining bubbles. I still see bubbles on the back from the Citra-Paste, so let's get another rinse on this side. One more rinse on the front, and a rinse everything down to the bottom. All right, that's it. That's done with step number 1 to remove the ink for reclaiming screens. We try to do our best, let it drip out as much as we can, and then I've got a towel over there. We're going to let this dry on its own and get ready for step number 2. All right, enjoy.